The reason why I like this Kobe Durant move, I think this guy's a solid player. He's shown that he can come up and hit. Um, you're gonna have content creators that are gonna break down film and really, get down to the nitty gritty. But when you've seen him play on Sunday, you've seen him make plays on the ball. You've seen him come up and tackle, and not just make plays on the ball, but intercept the ball. Also, what I like about it is, he's been in the Rams culture as far as the Rams are stuck on trying to win another Super Bowl. And I think anytime you can bring over a player that was a starter and that's in that atmosphere, and you bring him over to the Dallas Cowboys, I think that's a good thing. A good thing for these young players. You got a guy in DeRon Bland that has experience and have made big plays in his league, but you add a player, and I don't think that can hurt. All they can do is help. Sharon Revel and other guys that we're going to bring in, young guys that we're going to bring in. So to bring in a guy that has experience, playoff experience, championship level experience, that's always a good thing. So I think from a team aspect, it's a good thing for Revel. And if we decide to draft a corner, which I know we will draft a corner at some point, the guys can look up to a little bit. Now, he's still young himself, but he has some playoff experience. He got some championship habits. And I think anytime you can add a player like that, that's a good thing for the Cowboys and a good thing for that secondary group back there. And like people been saying, Thompson, a solid move as well. But like I said, anytime you can add another player with experience, championship pedigree, or just a winning mentality, pedigree into that cornerback and safety room, it's a good thing. Especially a person that has made plays on the ball. So it's one thing to have good coaches, but players that have played on that level, and you get to see their work habits and how they go about working, you can be a sponge to that. So I think, like I said, it's a good move for the Cowboys. I do like this move, and like I said, I think it helps Revel, and it just helps all secondary as a whole, I feel. But check in with the guys like Boss Cowboy, Lou Tates. They're going to drop some film. Henny, Landlord, those guys going to drop some film, or just give their expert opinion. Because I definitely look up to those guys as far as their film work. But I know what I see with my naked eyes. I saw the